Emotional agility isn't about managing emotions, it's about aligning actions with your core values. Fridays are for book club. I will be sharing the takeaways from the book titled Emotional Agility by Susan David. I'm going to give you the takeaways from chapters 2 through 5. Chapter 2, being hooked means thoughts and emotions are driving your actions automatically, often without your conscious choice. Common hooks, thought fusion, believing every thought is true just because you thought it. Old stories, replaying outdated narratives about who you are. I'm not good enough. I'm bad at relationships. And then there is unhelpful rules, rigid should or must thinking. I should know better. I must be crazy. The danger, you end up reacting instead of responding. Your choices are shaped by habit rather than your values. The first step to agility is recognizing when you are hooked. How many of us have been hooked with these thought fusions, believing that every thought is true just because you thought it? Just because you think it does not mean it's true. And here's takeaways from chapter 3, and it's called Step Out. Stepping out means creating distance between you and your emotions or thoughts so they don't control you. Practices for stepping out. Label your thoughts and your feelings. Instead of I'm angry, say I'm noticing I'm feeling angry. Observe without judgment. Treat your mind like a weather reporter describing the conditions. Name the story. Identify the narrative you're telling yourself. This is the I'm not enough story again. This distance allows you to act intentionality instead of impulsively, all right? Chapter 3, walking your way. Emotional agility isn't just about managing emotions, it's about aligning actions with your core values. When you know what matters the most, you can navigate challenges with purpose. Values versus goals. Goals can be achieved or completed. Values are ongoing directions. Being a present parent. Act with integrity. Living by your why makes your decisions, living by your why helps you make decisions that feel right even when they're uncomfortable. So, like I would say, why is to leave a legacy. Why is to be an example. Why is to encourage people. So when I live within those values, this is why I get to show up. Now I get to show up because of my why. Why don't make you cry, then your cost of commitment would always be too high. That's what my coach says. Hello. Here's takeaways from chapter 5. Moving on is about making small, deliberate changes that move you toward your values, even in the presence of discomfort. A lot of times we want to feel comfortable before we do anything. Those things are uncomfortable. Doing something new is uncomfortable. So you got to feel the discomfort and still move. Key points. Tiny tweaks and behaviors compound into a big change over time. You don't need to wait for the right feeling to take action. You don't have to wait for the right feeling to take action. Action can come before motivation. Choose toward moves. Actions aligned with values away moves. Actions that avoid discomfort but keep you stuck. You got to move away from those. Flexibility is key. You can't control every thought or feeling. Nevertheless, you can choose your next step. Let me say that again. Flexibility is key. You cannot control every thought or feeling. Nevertheless, you can choose your next step. Overall takeaways from chapters 2 through 5. Emotions are data, not directives. Notice and name your internal experience without letting them define you. I am feeling sad. I'm feeling disappointed. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm feeling this. It's just a feeling. Feelings don't come to stay. They come to pass. Identify what matters most and let that guide. Identify what matters the most, your values, and let that guide small, consistent actions. Freedom comes from choice. Choice comes from creating space between stimulus and response. So good. This book will definitely have snatch your edges. It'll have you by the collar like this saying, girl, stop it. Being hooked. That's the chapter that really stood out for me because sometimes your thoughts and emotions are driving your actions automatically without your conscious choice. So when they said something about where it said I'm bad, like the old story was I'm bad at relationships. I remember when I had just completed, a relationship was just completed, I would literally I had a playlist of songs talking about how bad, and there was one song by Halsey, and it was called Bad at Love. And I was like, that's me. I'm bad at love. And then there was another one, something about I love but don't love me back. And I was just in this pit of just pittiness. I'm not gonna say pittiness. I was in this pit of bitterness and stuckness and stagnation because I was rehearsing the old story. Why don't they want me? What did I do? Am I not good enough? What's wrong with me? Like I was like literally beating myself down. I had to have compassion for myself. It didn't work out because it wasn't supposed to work out. Rejection is just redirection. It was so many things that came to the forefront when that relationship ended. They were old stories, and those old stories were unhelpful. And sometimes we have those unhelpful rules. I should be married by now, and something must be wrong with me, and why doesn't none of my relationships work? I'm just like, what? No. So I had to unlearn so many things. I had to change my language. I'm literally a language cop. Sometimes people be saying stuff, I was like, don't say that. You making a declaration over your life. And sometimes we do that. When we say anything followed behind I am, we're making a declaration. So many people do this. I'm single. It's like a song. Well, I'm single. I'm a single mother. I'm single. It's just a song. And it's like, no, I happen to be doing this thing solo. And it does not mean it's going to stay this way. Had I not been open to love, I wouldn't have never received it. I was open to it, but I first had to love myself. I had to learn how to love me. I had to learn how to treat myself. I had to set that bar up there, because if you don't, you aim at nothing, you hit nothing. So that being hooked, that's what stood out for me. That's what had me in a chokehold, literally. And that's another one that I didn't cover in here. It's about brewing and something. And I forgot, it's brewing and something. Some things that we do when something happens. Sometimes men, they pretty much internalize everything, and women like, oh, I want to talk about it. I want to tell you about it. We're kind of like the opposite. So I was thinking about that. Like, do I do that? And then what happens with that when you're just holding things? It's kind of like a soda bottle, right? You shake it. Then eventually you let that top off and it's everywhere. And it's a mess to clean up, right? Sticky, it's nasty. Sometimes we do that when we hold on to things. Those things are not meant for us to hold on to. So this book is helping me understand, and emotional agility is something that we need. It's something that we should learn about so we can process our emotions better and not let our emotions run us. I wish I had my emotional wheel over here to show y'all some things, but nevertheless, here are my takeaways. I will see you in the next video. And if you had any questions, if you want to join my communities where I talk about things like this and more, feel free to comment in the comment section. I'll send you those details. Until then, stay in peace.